Peace, everybody in the ethos. We live and everything gonna be alright. It's the Real HC Show, the higher discussion. It's the show for our folks. Be first, always and forever. Always and forever. Nah, I'm not gonna do all that. Yeah, man. So we here. Real HD Show, the higher discussion. And what we gonna do? We're gonna jump into this intro. Here we go. Hey, peace to everybody in the ethos. It's the Real HD Show, and I'm your host, Vic 7, the victorious one, and we are here tonight. And we might not be here long. We might only be here for about a half hour. Why is that, you say? Having a couple of technical difficulties, nothing crazy, but battery life is not what it's supposed to be. I'll solve that problem this week, but we'll try to get to as many of these crazy, chaotic headlines as we can. And right here tonight, we're here for this. The Essence Festival of Culture, Black Exhibitionists, Gentrifiers, or Gatekeepers. Oh boy, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with that. Are those the same gatekeepers attacking Ice Cube? We are here for it this evening on the Real HD Show. As long as battery life permits, let me take a peek at what battery life is talking about. Okay, saying that we don't have a lot, so this might be a quick half-hour show. You know what I mean? But we still the way to go. We still the way to see and be on the Real HD Show. And we're going to jump right into it, man, because we don't have time to waste. So we usually do our ancestors and elders blueprint. Then we usually do our AAT report. We might even do our lit city, and we might even get into Goofy, but those things won't be happening tonight. We will be jumping right into Power to the People news. Wait, what just happened? This just happened. The Essence Festival just hit, and thousands of people went down to the Essence Festival. And it's been 30 years since the Essence Festival has hit New Orleans, and I guess it's become a fixture. And the reason why our cover story is about exhibitionists and grifters, gentrifiers, and gatekeepers because of the way the Essence Festival is conducting its business. When we think Essence Festival, we think all things Black. We think celebration of Black. As a matter of fact, there's a little ditty that they have that they claim is their headliner and kind of their mantra for why they do the Essence Festival, especially this year. Let me show it to you. It says, Essence Festival, welcome to the full spectrum of Blackness. We love it here. So if you watched my show before, a couple of weeks ago, you saw how during Juneteenth, the United States government decided to fly the rainbow flag over the White House instead of the Juneteenth flag or the red, black, and green flag. And now you got Essence talking about a spectrum of blackness. Now, there couldn't be a falser statement because black absorbs all other colors in science. So how can you have a full spectrum of blackness? Of course, they're referring to the people. Of course, it's tongue in cheek. But as soon as you see the word spectrum, and then you think of the word, and then you think of the mantra of the rainbow people and what they've been pushing, now you see why and how there's a possibility. Essence could be up to that shenanigans. You know what I mean? And what shenanigans am I saying? What shenanigans am I referencing? I'm referencing how a company that has made its money off of being black first, a company that has made its money off of, I got my mic going, but I don't have it in my close to me, so I have to reshift it. There you go. Yeah, so a company magazine that has benefited greatly off of Ebony and Jet magazine fame, and it came in a resounding third in the history of black magazines. The Essence magazine, which is mostly for women, which is primarily a women's magazine. And when most people think Essence, they think black, supporting black people, supporting black families, supporting black women, especially. If anything, one would find out that Essence is, of course, supporting black women, and by virtue of that, supporting black families. Every once in a while, you'll see a mention of them supporting black men, and supporting black businesses. And then you have Nesby, and then you'll have Black Enterprise magazine, and you have a host of mainstays. But Essence is the one that the sisters were the most endeared to, right? And there's a major issue with Essence, and the Essence Festival, especially this year. The Essence Festival they did their level best to stop the progress of a local black business in New Orleans from hosting their event at the same time. They said it violated the Clean Zone Act, and they also claimed that this particular business, which was named Baldwin Coffee or Baldwin Company, it's like a coffee house, little small thing, and they had like a book signing, and at the same time, the Essence Festival was going on. Now, like I said, Essence has been in New Orleans for over 30 years. So I guess they claim themselves a fixture. But what did they do to this Baldwin Company? They wrote them a cease and desist letter. Now, the millions and millions and millions that Essence Festival gathers from the people, the black folks who go down there and support it, and white folks, are you telling me that the local businesses can't thrive as well and alongside the Essence Festival? Well, the Essence Festival, its CEO, Richalio Dennis, I believe his name is. I believe he looks Haitian. He might be second generation American. He was in charge of the Essence Fest. It's really, really hard to tell whether the Essence Festival or Essence Magazine, for that matter, is white or black owned. When you look them up, it says they're owned by Essence Ventures, whatever that means. But we do know that they have some Middle Eastern ownership. I don't know if it's majority or minority. And then Essence Fest has some local ownership by some other folks, but we do know that it is not all black owned. And that would make sense based on the cease and desist document that was drafted by them to stop this particular coffee house from putting on this production called Lit House Diaries, right? And I'm trying to get a picture of the coffee house so I can show you the coffee house. So in case you're in the French Quarter, you guys can go and patronize this coffee house. Baldwin and Company Coffee and Bookstore. And they were having a, they were having a particular showcase and book signing called Lit House Diaries. And because they were having it simultaneously with Essence shut them down. But since then, Essence has repealed their particular case against the local bookstore. After it went through court and then went through all of the rigmarole and litigation in court. But I have a question for the family in conjunction with the Essence piece, right? With all of the shenanigans, so I heard vendors were upset because their booths weren't placed in a particular fashion so that they can make money. So the logistics and the layout of the booths in Essence Fest cost a lot of the vendors a lot of money. So that's one thing. Now we're hearing about cease and desist orders from Essence against local businesses, right? And then I was reading another article earlier about how the show times for all of the artists that were performing during the Essence Festival was janky because they all were late, especially Lauryn Hill. Now I'm a big Lauryn fan, and she's usually late to most of her stuff. But this is Essence Fest, and you gotta blame the producers. You gotta blame the people who are putting together the function for why these people were late. But there was almost a stampede, according to showgoers, based on how late Lauryn got on stage to do her thing. So you got disgruntled customers at the concerts. You got disgruntled vendors. You got disgruntled local businesses. And you got disgruntled butt cheeks. What am I talking about? This is what I mean by exhibitionist. Meg Thee Stallion. Cheeks front and center. Now, this was a video of her, in clap mode, What she's doing, whatever lyrics she's saying right here doesn't last long because she goes into full clap mode after that. And then, of course, everyone, unless you're under a rock, heard of the Keke Palmer booty cheek dress. And then, of course, Janelle Monáe, with shown bearing her breasts on stage, I guess in homage to Janet Jackson and others who have had wardrobe malfunctions. She just decided to be a full exhibitionist. So this is why I titled today's show Black Exhibitionists, Gentrifiers, and Gatekeepers. Now, where's the gentrifier at? Well, the gentrifier is, by definition, and let me pull that up. What's a gentrifier by definition? Let's pop that up. And remember, I have limited time based on battery life. Okay, so we're going to try to get to as much of this essence story as possible. So a gentrifier is a middle class person or entity who moves into a disinvested neighborhood when a critical mass of other middle class people do the same thing, exerting economic, political, and social pressures upon the existing community. I'm going to read it again. A gentrifier is a middle class personal organization that moves into an invested neighborhood when a critical mass, thousands of people at the Essence Fest, of other middle class people who do the same thing, exerting economic, political, and social pressure upon the existing community. So here you go, Baldwin and Company. They were having Lit House Diaries, and they got their cease and desist from Essence Festival. So Essence Festival, that was supposed to be pro-black, all black, black all day, is having a tug of war with another local black-owned business who is trying to conduct their event at the same time that the Essence Festival is happening. Now, what's my take? I believe that that is a gentrification in every sense of the word. And just because over the years, gentrifiers come in the shape and size of white folks, for the most part, I don't mean black people with enough economic power can't be gentrifiers. That doesn't mean that black people can be racist. It means that black people also can be gentrifiers. And of course, according to Meg Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe and Keke Palmer, they could be exhibitionists as well. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hot cheeks, right? And then after that, you know, are they the gatekeepers that Ice Cube complained about in his video where he's trying to get his On3 basketball league, you know, moved into another stratosphere business-wise? And what do I mean by that? What I mean by them being gatekeepers is they're part of the Democratic Party full throttle. They vote Democratic consistently. And anything that the Democratic leadership tells black people who go to Essence Fest to do, for the most part, they'll do. That's why a serial anti-black racist guy like Joe Biden can win the presidential nomination and become president for the last 4 years. This is how that happens. When you just kind of become a gatekeeper, meaning your progress is directly in line and in tow with what the Democratic Party wants you guys to do. What happened to BLM after Joe Biden got elected? Nothing. They disappeared. They went on a shopping spree, buying houses and, you know, lush vacations. And here we go with Essence. Is it true? Can the mainstay of what was once a magazine and cultural phenomenon for black people, Essence magazine, especially for black women took a lot of cues from Essence magazine. Is it the fact that they now are corporate and no longer black first? Let me know what you think about that, man. Put that in the chat. Based on their behavior, based on what you've seen them do, they gentrify businesses. They put their vendors in a financially precarious situation. They got women being exhibitionists on stage and bearing their behinds like it's a strip club. So you got exhibitionists, gentrifiers, and gatekeepers. Say it ain't so, Essence. Say it ain't so. Say all the money that my mom and my grandmom spent on buying your magazine, believing in black women's empowerment, this has all become a money grab. Let a brother know. Let a brother know. And all these gatekeepers, corporate shills that are all about the dollar bill, right? Are they all about getting that bag when that's not the history and the reputation of Essence Magazine? They're supposed to have Essence Health and Essence Business and Essence, wellness and all of the above, right? And they're supposed to be showcasing the best and the brightest and the most soulful of black folk. So for years, they put you on the monkey train. They was all about black people first. And now in 2023, like after 30 years, okay, in 2023, after 30 years, oh man, look like we frozen. Okay, seems like that's it. Can't even end the broadcast. Okay, so tune in Wednesday. Okay? If you can still hear me, tune in Wednesday when we will yet again um, looks like we're having a battery and a power thing. Okay. And lots and lots and lots and lots of other issues that will be front and center on the Real HD show. A higher discussion. Peace and walk with power.